Does it?
The depth chart?
Yeah,
Every day.
in your mind.
Every day it really does. Maybe not the first two shorts practices, just because you really can't play football without pads, and you can't tell who made the play, who didn't, did he get tackled or not. But our depth chart, we talk about it as a staff every day, and who's doing what. Again, as a staff, so we'll go through the offensive depth, defensive depth, and special teams. Just say, hey, where are we? I think these kids need to be graded. The players need to be graded every day, and you know where they are. If you have a bad day, you move down. If you have a good day, you move up.
So has there been much change? I mean, just the ones that you talked about that you started out with on day one. Has there been much change?
Yeah, there's been changes, every day. I mean, you guys obviously can't see it, because you can't tell an individual, but there's certainly been change, without a doubt. But that's why you guys really don't need to talk about it every day about the ups and downs of a good practice or somebody or bad. It doesn't really matter, because really what matters is where we are in September.
What are some of the changes that have happened since the beginning of practice to now?
Just like I said, you guys don't need to talk about it every day.
What if we want to talk about it? We're halfway through.
You guys can guess. You can guess.
Well, we don't want to guess. We want to know the information.
I can just tell you there's good competition in the backfield. Darren Hall and Olison and Shantez Moss are having a good day back there, and the receivers are battling. I mean, those are some of the spots that obviously there's some issues there. I mean, talking linebacker play, Celine Brightwell is in there, fighting at the linebacker spot and doing a nice job. And we've already talked here, I guess, the last 2 or 3 times about Elijah Zeiss and Jalen Williams and Sean, fighting it out at that outside linebacker spot. I think Colombo's got a good hold, inside, and in the secondary, Reggie Mitchell and Terrence Webb continue to battle. So there's just a couple of them. But every day, if the guy has a bad day, you can move down. And that's just the reality of college football.
Are any guys that have stepped up and surprised you by stepping up?
Not really. I mean, I guess the biggest surprise really is when you move a guy like Elijah. That's something that I think that's probably the biggest surprise, because you move him there hoping and wishing that he'll have success, but you never know. So it's always a surprise when the guy pops in there and plays, in my opinion, as good as he's playing right now.
Is this the time of year when you can identify some guys that are going to be leaders in the fall? And are there some guys that have stepped up and shown you something in that regard?
Yeah, no doubt about it. We talk about our leadership council and what they do, and we voted probably a month ago on who those guys are. There's about 12 of them right now, and we'll actually have a meeting tomorrow. But at the end of spring ball, we'll vote again and find out those are generated during fourth quarter workouts, generated during spring ball, generated during the off season program. So we're constantly trying to develop those leaders and find out who they are, and letting our kids continue to vote on who they are.
Is that mostly upperclassmen, or there's some underclassmen that work with them?
I think we've got 4 seniors and then maybe 2 in each class after that. But they vote on. They voted by class and vote for 2 guys each class. So we want to not just have senior leaders, because those younger guys don't learn how to be leaders. So we've got a few. We got probably for the first time since I've been here, a walk on that's on our leadership council, Jimmy Madura. So that's something the kids voted on. Not just the freshmen, but all the upperclassmen. So he got a lot of votes.
You mentioned the running back competition earlier. I mean, do you have a maximum number as far as running? I know with James everything's sort of up in the air, but I mean, do you have like 4 or 5 that you set the maximum at? Because you got
right now. I think we only got 3 out there. Actually, Rashid got some snaps today, so it's good to see he's just about back. We're just being really slow and careful with him, but we'd like to play 3 or 4 tailbacks for sure. And we'll have some sets where maybe 2 or 3 or 4 tailbacks will be out there at one time. So we're going to play our best players. So if we got 5 good tailbacks, we'll find a personnel grouping that puts 5 out there on the field.
What's the next step for Quadrant?
Just to keep the same step for everybody is to get better every day. He had a good year last year. He's got to worry about James Conner being the starting tailback, and he's got to fight to be the guy. So it'll be a battle.
After the success that he had last year, is there anything in particular you look for, for him, the way that he conducts himself as he goes about his business this spring?
I mean, I think it's like anybody. I bust Jordan Whitehead every day too about, hey, that was last year. You 2 rookies. That was they don't give the sophomore of the year or the second year all conference player. So that was something a year ago. So they need to stay humble and really prepare every day like they did to get where they are, and never forget how you got where you were last year.
Do you have an update with James and how he's progressing and how you think
I'm not the doctor. But, I guess you could ask the doctor, but I think he's doing great. He's out here. He had his 9th chemo yesterday. He's got 3 more to go. So in the football season, he's really going into the 4th quarter of this chemo. And you know what we do in the 4th quarter. So he'll win the 4th quarter. There's no question about it. But so he's got 3 more treatments to go. Got a little after effects from yesterday, but which is common. So, but he didn't run around today, but he's out here supporting his teammates.
Other than Rashid, any of the injured guys from the beginning of camp starting to come back?
I don't think so. I'll let you know.
I'm sure
Wait
you will.
for that Thursday injury report from the ACC. Do we have anything else here for Coach?
Yeah, you mentioned Rashid. I mean, you obviously didn't have him at all last season. Is he a bit of a wild card for you? I mean, what can he bring to the group once he's?
He can bring a lot now. He's we didn't have him all last season, but we had him last camp and last spring, and I know he's tough. I know he's athletic. I know he can catch the ball in the backfield, and I'm guessing he probably would have been a starting tailback. We wouldn't even know who Quadri Olson is if he hadn't got hurt. Got a lot of faith in what Rashid can do.
And then Darren Hall coming out of his freshman year. I mean, how big is that leap forward for a guy when you see him in his first spring? Compared to where he was last summer.
Yeah, I mean, that's something you'll, I guess, see on April 16th. It's the great thing about a spring game. But I think he's made some major improvements. I think he looks more confident out there, and we got to continue to keep those tailbacks healthy. And I think Darren Hall's having a great spring.
Excellent. Coach, thank you. Thank you,
Thanks,
guys.
Coach.
Thanks.